Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I felt like I needed to do that. Cleanse some energy. So I'm back with you today with a pick a card for messages from your deceased loved ones. These are the Dr. Emoto cards, and they're such beautiful ice crystals that represent, he did it, as probably a lot of you know, did an experiment on if you put like a piece of paper with a word on it and put it on some water, and then he would put it under the water, under the microscope, and see what water crystals would come up. So for the first one, it's eternity. I was called to show you guys these. Here's the cutie cute one. Coral reef. Rainforest. And maybe more of the message on these today is just the crystal grid that, you know, our energy creates. That one is prayer. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so we are going to go into deck number 1, and then we're going to see which energies come up. All right, let's start with number 1. Messages from your deceased loved ones. Got a lot of cards here today. And let's see what comes up. So most of these are showing up. So let's see what energy is going to come through. Maybe if I move it like this. I was definitely drawn to this one right away. This is a young woman, mid-20s, early to mid-20s. She tells me that she committed suicide. She's saying that she's sorry, that she just couldn't put the pieces together in her life. Like her mind was disjointed. It was like there was some kind of mental health issue that she had, and her mind just would not cooperate. You know, and of course her soul is fine. It's just the iteration that she escaped from, you know, the mental health was just too much to deal with, she says. And she says she doesn't want you to think of her as weak, that she couldn't handle it, that she couldn't hack it. Because she's also saying that this was an opportunity for her to exit and go back into spirit. She's drawing my attention to this card, which says she needed to prioritize how her soul development was going. And she was given the opportunity. I'm going to have to move this. I feel like I'm shaking the camera so bad everyone's going to be like, dang. That she needed to prioritize her spiritual growth. And this iteration was not serving her. She knew coming in that this was going to be a thing, but she didn't anticipate how draining it was going to be. And she's offering you this cup of love because she apologizes that she had to take, and she's saying, the escape route. But it says the Archangel Metatron, focus on your highest priorities and you will get, I will help you get organized and motivated. So I think she might have, Metatron is a very high vibrational archangel. And I think she needed to go to him and say, hey, I need out. This is not working out for my highest good. What I thought I was going to learn was being incapacitated by the meds she was taking, and then the combination of the meds. And I think she was actually doing some drinking as well. So it was like she was constantly up, she was constantly down. She was having a productive life, and then she'd fall off, and then it was just like drama, drama, drama. So she realized that for her highest benefit, this was not worth it to her to continue on like this. And she was like, I was hurting other people. I was hurting myself. With this Bridget card, it says inner strength, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. And that's exactly what she did. She took back her power. And I know that some people's religious beliefs might give of the thought that, she was weak, she couldn't handle it, or the devil got her, or whatever drama, we've been programmed into. And that's not the case. She's saying she has the power and the inner strength to take back her spiritual growth, and she chose to do it. Because she said she just couldn't stomach hurting people anymore. She couldn't stomach it. She was advanced enough spiritually to know that this was not working for her. And she's drawing my attention to this one. It says, although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. And this is kind of like reiterating what we had just talked about. And she says, I am so much better now. She doesn't have that fragmented physical mind to deal with. She wanted to co-create, and she wasn't able to do that in life because she's an advanced being and, an advanced soul, and she couldn't do it. And, personally, I'm the one who's doing the reading, right? So I agree with her. If she's not operational in what she thought was going to be advantageous for her, why would she continue to do it? I'm not advocating offing yourself by any means. I'm just saying, under the circumstances and what she's showing me and how much she hurt people, it just wasn't worth it. And she says it's weird, but she did use her intuition on this. She really did. She's turning my attention to this one, the 5 of Cups, or the 5 of Water. Things are not turning out the way you'd hope. Not seeing the positive side in a situation, crying over spilt milk. Didn't I already just mention spilt milk? Weird. Maybe my eyes caught this. I don't know. But obviously there's something with spilt milk, or she liked milk, or you like milk. You guys had milk together, who knows? But she's saying this is for you where, of course, you didn't want her to pass. You didn't want her to go. And, this one points out that she's so much better now. And she wants you to surrender the belief that there's scarcity. It says the universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So she's asking you to let go of scarcity and the thoughts of her passing, her suicide, to affect you to think that there's scarcity, there's not enough, light and love in the world. And she's saying she is following you, she is taking care of you, she wants to be your guide. Like, she's pointing me out to this flame. She's like, I carry this flame for you. It is abundance. It is inner strength. It is love. It is kindness. It is all the things that you think is lacking in the world. She's also saying that she knew that she would be much more powerful on the other side than here. Because she's used to being in, a higher level of service. And where she was at in life, she could not do it. And here she's bringing me to this one. This is Brigitte, or Bridget, whatever. Don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. Oh, that's weird. I just noticed that. They're both holding a flame. Interesting. So maybe she was a fire sign in life, or Aries, Leo, Sag. Or maybe you are and she's holding your flame, or regardless, she's holding the flame. She says she's experiencing so much abundance, and she wants you to try to tap into that. It says the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. It's a beautiful card. So she wants you to be open to her light. I think you had a lot of preconceived notions about, what the situation held and the seriousness of it. And she wants you to try to heal from it. Because she says, we're in eternity. There might be perceived endings and beginnings, but this is just eternal. And it goes back with this beautiful crystal. She says she wants to start co-creating with you, as she's co-creating with the other higher powers, the angels, the guides, God, whomever you pray to. She's saying something about a new location, like you're thinking about moving to a new location. She's showing me boxes. What I'm hearing her say is, you can move, but your sorrow is going to follow you. She's not saying you can't, or that it's not a good move, but she's making you very much aware that you can run, but you can't hide from yourself and your emotions. So by all means, move to this other location, but don't think that it's going to make your life lighter. Only you can make your inner world lighter, which is exactly what she did. She's saying that financial abundance will be yours again. I think whatever happened with her, it kind of drained some of your finances, and she apologizes for that. But it's like she's throwing you more coins. More coins are coming your way. And with this one, she's saying that she wants you, well, she's also saying that she was in some kind of it's multifaceted actually. She's saying she wants you to recover. She was in recovery, and she is also recovering, because you can see how there's that, higher self for her and for you. So she's like, let's take the opportunity and recover together. She says that's all she really wants to say, because she wants to start talking to you in your dreams, because you've been blocking her because of the oh my God, she's in hell, and, blah, blah, blah. And that's just not the case. I don't often ever get readings where there's two females both holding a flame. She's a very powerful person. Well, soul. And she, if you so choose, let her in. She is perfectly fine. She is experiencing beautiful, wondrous things. And whether consciously or, obviously unconsciously, probably, who knows, she knew that exiting would be better for everyone involved. And that she's not gone. She's just gone to another location in space and time. Or however you want to preface it. All right. I hope that was helpful. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Messages from Your Deceased Loved Ones. Thank you so much for joining me. So now we're on number 2. And I'm just so smitten with these today. Coral reef. What I'm hearing is you were like their coral reef. So what I'm getting is a male energy that's coming through. And he's very feminine man. I would dare say a gay man. I don't know why I said I had to, be brave about it or whatever. Let's see. He's saying thanks for acknowledging who he was in life. He says, first off, to really get the fullness of this expression of love to him or from him, that you need to shift your energy. So please do so now. As the camera is shifting. He's saying with this coral reef that you guys took vacations together, like watery, beachy. That's what this is about. He said it was serendipitous that you guys met when you did. And that you guys are indeed twin flames. And of course, the twin flame connection is always beyond sexual orientation or the human body. He's saying sometimes when you're with him in the non-physical, you have a hard time breathing. It's like it catches you off guard and you can't breathe. And he wants you not to be scared when he comes near you. He said he wants you to have a new life. He wants you to have a new life. He wants you to let go of the idea that you will never love again. And he's saying, yes, we do have a spiritual connection. We both talked about this. We both knew it. You both had open communication about it. And he wants you to let go of that idea that you will never love again. And I'm getting emotional saying that because he really wants you to have a new life. He's saying that he just wants you to have the fullest because you guys are never apart. You're energetically tied together. And he's saying, you know what to do on this. Like, let go. Because he's like, we're talking all the time. In 5D, you guys are probably communicating all the time. Yeah, open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak with love and be heard. He's like, because you've been asking him, you've been talking to him, and you don't think that he can hear you, but he can. He's saying you do take the quiet time that you guys need to communicate, but you just don't think he is. And he's showing me this one, and it's saying, I have become one of your guides. He says he's having a fabulous time learning. He's saying he's getting to learn so much. And he says he absolutely loves it. He's saying something about, he's showing me like music. I can hear music. But he's saying he loves learning. And he loved it in life and he loved it here. Not necessarily like formal learning, but like life learning. He was very like vivacious and outgoing, had lots of friends. Did something where he reached out to a lot of people. Maybe he was in the healthcare industry is what I got. It says Ace of Earth. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. He says you've been holding off on letting abundance in with this new venture or new job opportunity. He's like, he wants you to finish up the paperwork that was between the two of you. There's something that you're holding off on. I heard him say something about taking his name off of things. But he's like, you need to do this. You need to let go and you need to get a new life. You need to move on because I'm right here. I'm one of your guides. He said, we did experience deep passion for each other. He says that you're so full of life and you're so full of love, and he wants to see you continue to experience that in the physical. He says, because to you or to him, you are his King of Cups. This is very water oriented. So, I mean, there's lots of water. I mean, you guys must have loved being near the water. He's saying when you do these steps and letting go and getting a new life and remembering to breathe when he's near you, because he's near you all the time, because he's one of your guides, that expect a miracle. It says, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Then this one says divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? Because he's saying you can have this. He's like, you were such a vivacious person yourself that you are an amazing manifester. So go create, girl. All right. Well, let's see. Any other messages? Saying just keep an open heart and follow. He's like, and follow my instructions. And everything will go as planned. So apparently there's a plan that you guys have on the 5D when you're communicating that you don't necessarily remember in the 3D. So I hope this was helpful. He is giddy. He's going that this communication occurred. And please leave me a like, share, and subscribe if this resonated with you. I would love to hear about it. I have been flabbergasted by the amount of people who are commenting and getting readings from me stating that these are people that they know and the information that comes through is startlingly accurate. I'm just the go-between. It's still fun to hear it. All right. Thank you for joining me. So now we're moving on to number 3. Messages from your deceased loved ones. Rainforest. Oops. It's interesting. The last one said breathe, and this one says the same thing. But hey, if you're in the physical body, I guess that's what you got to do, right? I know, I'm being facetious. Let's switch this up. All right. So they want, I'm going to tune in a little more before I start spouting their words. I'm hearing the words, you are silly. I'm trying to tune into this person because there's so much light around them that I can't like get a good read off of them. I don't necessarily have to have like their physical attributes that they had in life, but this is a pretty advanced soul. They're saying it's not your fault. It's not your fault the way I left. There's nothing you could have done. There's nothing you could have changed. Nothing. You couldn't have walked across the street, and that would have made the difference. I think in your mind, you're trying to play out these scenarios of, well, you know, what if I would have called them? Or what if I would have went over there? Or what if? They're saying get rid of the shouldas, the couldas, and the wouldas. It says it's a waste of time and it's pointless. And they're like, that's the end of that subject. Getting me to this one. It says, we are so connected. You know, and it kind of goes with this, you know, like the water molecules. I'm hearing like matrices. This person really isn't showing themselves either as a male or a female. It's like an androgynous energy. Okay. So when I first pulled this card out, it really struck me, not only for the breathing thing, but the person. They're like, fine, if you must have something of how I looked, this is kind of how I looked. Bit of a hippie. Especially those striking green eyes. They say that they're doing a lot of higher learning right now and they love it. And they were saying their woo-woo ways, their hippie ways, really, were dead on. It's like this young man is talking to a father figure. Father figure, mother. He's actually talking to the whole family. But he was originally, you know, like talking with that talking point to his father. He says you wonder why he had to exit like that. I think this young man was doing some kind of psychedelics and it didn't go well. He said it was not intentional, but he went so far out that he didn't want to come back. He was very much into expanded consciousness. And he said he tried to break the habit, and he was a people pleaser, so he was he wanted to please you, but he didn't want what you wanted was not what he wanted. And this, because of that, it caused, you know, quotes and conflict between you guys, because you wanted him to go to college, you wanted him to do this, you wanted him to get married and have children, like all of those things, and he was the hippie, you know, young man who liked to take psychedelics and smoke weed and, you know, that kind of thing, and just was lackadaisical. You perceive them as not having drive or enthusiasm to move forward in a prosperous way. He's saying that he always viewed you as the king of air, which is the king of swords. It says, speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. And that just wasn't, you wanted him to be the same and he couldn't. That wasn't him. He was much more, you know, float along, no worries, everything's good. I feel like you were financially affluent, and so it kind of assisted him in having that sort of lifestyle. And like his mother would be like, oh, honey, do you need money? And then she'd give him money, and you didn't like it. Speaking as like if I'm talking to the father, you didn't like that, and so it caused this conflicts and quos. But you were listening. He was listening to his inner wisdom. It says, you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. And he's saying that I know that you don't understand that I was supposed to be here for a short time, that I was supposed to experience this life, but I was also supposed to experience and transmit this loving, kind energy. And that's all that I ever came here to do. And you could never understand that. But he also knows that you were trying to teach him what he needed to know to survive in this world. But he wasn't planning on staying that long. He wants you to let go of the guilt. The shouldas, the couldas, the wouldas. If I would have been stronger with him, if his mother wouldn't have given him money to continue his lackadaisical lifestyle. And he's like, this is all that I give to you. I constantly give this to the family. A floating love. He says the way that you're feeling will improve. He's like, he sends you love all the time, and he wants you to know that he's your guide. That's why he's saying that you guys are so connected, and he wants you to open up. He's like, please, Dad, just open up to the possibility that there is something more. He's like, yeah, I might have been a kid, a young man, a kid who was taken care of and didn't have a care in the world, but that's what we contracted to do, and that's exactly what I got out of this. And he's like, you cannot tell me that you didn't get anything out of this either. Because you're very, like this shows a very rigid, professional, diplomatic, dogmatic sort of person. And he was here to kind of lighten things up and make people around him realize, hey, everything's okay. Whether we got money or we don't have money. And he's like, towards the end, I was being cut off because you were getting so mad at Mom for feeding me money. But he just wants you to know that he loves you, that everything is fun on there. Like, he's getting to learn so much. Like I said, he said he's able to be your guide, and that, let's see, what about this one? He's saying he watches over you because it says here and now, past and future. And he sits right here in the now. And the little flag says, you are here. And the little love, he's there. He's there with you. And he looks forward to the inner conversations that you guys are going to have, whether in dream time or when you go and pray or meditate. He says he loves you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this resonated. And the majority of people who watch these are women. So if you listen to this and you know that this is a message for your dad, because I think they were the ones that had the most conflict and quos, please, if they're open to, to experience this reading, I hope that you can assist them in finding it. And this young man made the effort to do it. So, hey, why not, right? All right. Let's clear that energy. And let's move on to number 4. This is a beautiful one. This is prayer. Let me tune into the energy here. And like I've said this before, I don't need the cards, but the cards are a fun way for them to express different concepts and ideas so they can express what they need to express in a short period of time. This was a young woman. I would say I'm getting 16, 17. I think she was driving and got into an accident and was killed. She's showing me this card here, and they kind of draw me to whatever card they've picked that closely resembles them. So you consider them your little angel. It says, spread your wings, the Archangel Ariel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. And that's how you kind of felt like where her life was at the time when she passed. She was spreading her wings, that, she shouldn't be holding back, and that the time was perfect for her to soar. And you were like, her life was cut short. And she's saying, I agree, because she did have lots of aspirations in life of how she wanted things to roll out for her. School, friends, having children, getting married. But she says that wasn't meant to be. She said when she passed over, she could see herself above the car. And of course she was panicking, crying, and freaking out. But then she said behind her, someone tapped her on the shoulder. And she turned around. And she said it was Grammy. She's saying Grandpa. She said there's ancestors there. There was so much light and love that it immediately calmed her down. Because she was saying, I want to go back. I want to go back. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And they're saying, okay, well, let's go talk about this in the light. And when she got to the light, she had the sudden understanding of the larger picture of the plan for her that she had chosen. And she said that she was a beacon of light that came here for a specific period of time. And that she had a choice to make. And she said the choice was really quite easy. She's like, I know that that's hard to hear, but her choice was that it was time for her to move on. That her spirit, her soul had so much more work to do that required her to be fully present in the non-physical. She's telling me that she's a pretty advanced being, soul, and that it was advantageous for her to, at this time, help on the other side. She's like, I know this is hard to hear. I know this doesn't make sense. But she's like, as soon as you start integrating this information, your heart and your soul are going to be able to heal better. She says, the information that I'm giving you now is going to give you a leg up. It's going to give you a leg up in your healing. And she's like, and that's what you did to me. You gave me a leg up. But I don't know if you can see it. There is a face right in here. And she was like, that was the inner wisdom that I got when I went into the light. And she realized that she was poised and ready to move on to that next phase. And she says that you use a lot of prayer to get solace and reach out to her. And she says she knows that you view her as your little baby. She says, we've been together before and we'll be together now. She goes, you know that this was a tower moment for you. This was, you know, your golden goose, your swan perishing. And she's sorry for that. But she wants you to know that she's not gone. She's still with you energetically through prayer. And she's like, in the future, we will be together again. Whether it's through prayer, dreams, or when you pass. You know, it's like she's saying, you're not far away from her. She's saying, surrender the resentments of, you know, why my daughter? Why my daughter? You know, if I wouldn't have let her do this, then, you know, all of those things. It says, holding on to resentment only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. And she's saying something about, and this is what you taught me, was to stay on the positive, focus on the positive. And she wants you, and she says that she expects you to do the same thing. Because now that she's your guide, she can say those sorts of things. She says that she is on a grand adventure. She's like, you would not believe what is over here. Everything is amazing. And she's like, she kicks up her heels because she's experiencing a magical situation. And I guess this kind of goes into, you know, magic manifesting. Like, she is experiencing magical moments every single nanosecond. She's like, heaven is just absolutely amazing. I hear her saying, absolutely amazing, Mom. This is, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. And she's like, no, that's not the case. You helped me live the perfect life. Perfect. Everything about my life was absolutely sublime. She wants you to know that you can believe in yourself and that you can do whatever you're wanting to do. And that's even just letting go of the pain of this, you know, her passing. Because she's like, in the near future, you will get to experience this too. And she's so privileged and honored that you were her mother, that she had the life that she did, that she got to love all of the people that she got to love. Because she was such a pure, loving spirit. That she just thanks you to the moon and back. She loves you, and she'll be seeing you soon. All right, I hope that was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please leave me a comment on how this resonated with you and how this assisted you in moving forward. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.